Thank you. Yes, it's my birthday today. So I was thinking about a gratitude practice. So just as you're hearing those words and thinking about gratitude, notice what comes up for you. Oftentimes there's specifics attached to gratitude, a person, a lifestyle, a certain smell that's part forest and part salty ocean, and that I get to smell every time I walk outside or have a window open. I'm so appreciative of that smell. I'm grateful for. Take a few deep breaths as you're doing that. And on birthdays, we might be thinking more about things like I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to wake up on my birthday today. And on ordinary days, it's a little smaller, maybe, or more mundane, but it could be something like I'm grateful for a good sleep, or I'm grateful I get to do a resting practice, that I can go for a walk later, or that I'll see this person or this dog or horse or some being, that you get to be there with them either in person or in your heart. Notice your whole body from head to toes and notice if there are places in your body that you could put a little attention on. We go through from head to toes most often. But even before we start that, is there some place in your body that's a bit tight or where you're feeling pain or contraction? And if there is, then bring your attention right to that place. As you breathe out, let it soften. As you breathe in, keep your attention there. As you breathe out, let it soften again. And notice your whole body again, your head, face, the forehead and eyebrows, your eyes. There are a lot of visuals that we have that are not welcome, that are difficult or scary. There are also a lot of visuals that are beautiful and that we could look back and go, I'm so grateful I got to see that perfect night at the ocean with the moon on the waves, or a beautiful bird, or whatever it might be, the face of someone. For a moment, let's stop at the eyes. Notice what gratitude might be there for our sight. We could notice the air as it flows in and out of our nostrils. I was in India and Nepal several years ago, and boy, am I ever grateful to have clean air to breathe now. It was so difficult to breathe there. We all have had the experience of having a cold, and then when it's over, we get to breathe deeply. And some of us have the experience of asthma or some other kind of impediment to our breath. Notice what it is that you could appreciate about your breath. And if negative thoughts are starting to try to grab your attention, for this practice, we're really going to let them go to the side. It's not really what we're focusing on right now. And it's very natural for thoughts to come up too, so we're not suppressing them. We might have memories of having difficulty breathing or the fear around that, and then that's not our experience in this moment, or maybe it is. But what is the ease around your breath? What could you focus in on that helps you to relax and soften? Take a deeper breath. And breath is tricky for people with trauma, so not to make it it has to be a certain way. One of the things that we might also pay attention to is how our nervous system alerts us to danger. One of the ways that it does that is that we hold our breath. So if you're noticing as you're breathing or as you've been doing these resting practices that you often hold your breath, notice if there could be an appreciation for the way that our body works to warn us and protect us. And for that innocence and fragility of our nervous system. We are also tough and resilient, and we are fragile as well. Our nervous system is set up to be an alarmist. It's not our prefrontal cortex, it's not our rational brain, it's just that part of us that signals danger. And as an adult and as someone with other parts of the brain that we can bring into it, we could also see if there's room for the nervous system to be alarmist or to be scared. Is there room for that here too? Even with all the trouble it causes. And one thing we know really well is how to calm our nervous system. We relax our body, let the breath deepen. We don't follow along with catastrophic thoughts or the inner critic. We have emergency measures, we have longer term practices to increase the health and resilience in our system. And notice if you have a tolerance. You might have a welcoming, but even if not, if there could be an acceptance. This is how my system works. As a human being, I have a mammal survival system. I also have a well developed brain. I have the capacity to pay attention and observe and witness what's going on, to reassure myself, to let go of things that aren't helpful. Let yourself feel that through your whole body, head to toes. I know how to reassure myself. I know how to heal. I can appreciate this without getting hung up on perfection. It's a process. And notice your whole body as you're tuning into that. Let your whole body relax and soften. Notice your forehead and eyes, your breath, and bring your attention to your mouth and jaw. If you had no worries in the world, your mind would be quiet, your jaw would be relaxed. As you breathe out, loosen the hinges of your jaw, let your tongue rest, your vocal cords be still. Just as we might be grateful for a beautiful smell, we could be grateful for the ability to taste. And it's complicated, food and addiction and comforting ourselves, eating for health, eating for all kinds of other reasons. So, again, we have this complicated situation. There's things we say and things we can't say that cause tightness or tension in the jaw. We get into the throat. We're working with our expression, our sharing of our authentic self. So, with all of that complexity, can you just rest and let your tongue rest, your vocal cords, your throat? If you're clenching your teeth, release some of that tightness, put a bit more space between the upper and lower jaw. Bring to mind a taste that's a favorite of yours. Let your whole self kind of savor that. Might be a visual to go with that. There's the feel in your mouth, the taste. Maybe it's a hot tea on a cold day or something else. Just to notice the appreciation, whatever might be here around taste. We're not ignoring all of the complexity. We're just not paying attention to it right now. We're just focusing on appreciation. And as we move down from the face and the jaw, the mouth, into the neck and shoulders, notice that we might not have what we might refer to as a typical body. We might have a lot of strength in our arms and legs, or we might have a real sensitivity in our fingers, or we might play the bass guitar and have calluses on our hands, or we might not have all of our fingers, or we might not have the ability to walk. There's such a variety of human experience. Let's tune into that for a moment. We use our hands and our feet to perform our actions in the world. We experience our life through our body. What are some favorite things that you do with your hands or with your legs and feet? Maybe an image or a felt sense of you swimming comes to mind. Or maybe it's hugging someone and feeling the warmth in your arms. Let's focus for a moment on what we appreciate or what we're grateful for with our arms and hands, our legs and feet. And we could go a little bit deeper than the ones that come to mind right away. For me, I just had the image of me playing the flute. I get to do that with my breath, with my face, my lips, my mouth, my hands and fingers. Now, what might that be for you? What else comes up when you think about what you appreciate around having arms and hands, legs and feet? Continue to notice your whole body, notice your breath. What are some of the pleasures of having arms and legs? Having the ability to sense touch and texture. And let yourself feel that with your whole entire body. What is the energy or the felt sense of that in your body? What's happening in your heart these last 20 minutes as we've been doing this practice? What's the energy in your heart center right now? And as you think back over the practice, what comes up? What are the feelings in your heart center? Or the visual, the sense of sight, the speech, the taste, touch, for being in a body, for being alive and having our breath. And focus your attention in your heart center. What does your heart know right now? What is your heart grateful for? I'm grateful that I have the interest and the inspiration and the capacity to do practice. that we could come here together and relax our body, relax our mind, and learn more about ourselves. We could notice with appreciation. We could inhabit our life. And there are definitely times when we have a lot of fear or anxiety going on in the mind, or we're too depressed, or there's something going on that's not really conducive to resting and tuning in and being aware of our own life, our body, our experience. And then there are times when it kind of calms and settles, and we can tune right into that. And that's a continuum, like so many things. We're not usually completely at one end or the other. Just to notice what that feels like for you right now. And for a moment, let everything else drop away and just feel into your own experience right now in your body, physically, energetically, thoughts in your mind, your breath. And then when you're ready, open your eyes.